Lesson, Functions, Def, in Python. Introduction. Functions are a fundamental building block in programming. They allow you to group a block of code that performs a specific task. Once defined, a function can be called, used, multiple times in different parts of your program. Avoiding code duplication. Why do we need functions? Code organization. They break down a program into smaller, more manageable pieces. Code reusability. Dry. Don't repeat yourself by defining a task once, you can execute it as many times as needed by simply calling the function. Readability. The program becomes easier to understand, as each block of code performs a clearly defined function. Debugging. It's easier to find and fix errors in smaller, isolated blocks of code. Defining a function. A function in Python is defined using the def keyword, followed by the function's name, parentheses, for parameters, and a colon. The body of the function must be indented. Docstring, a brief description of what the function does. This is good practice. Function body, the code that the function executes. Optional, a function can return a value. Ten examples of functions in Python. Example 1, simple function without parameters or return value. Description, this function simply prints a greeting message. It takes no input and returns nothing. Prints a simple greeting. Calling the function. Detailed steps, def greet, we define a function named greet. The empty parentheses indicate that the function does not take any parameters. Prints a simple greeting, this is a docstring. It describes the purpose of the function and is considered good practice. It's accessible via help, greet, print, hello, world. This is the body of the function. This line of code will be executed every time the function is called. Greet, this is the function call. Python looks for a function named greet and executes the code within its body. Example 2, function with one parameter. Description, a function that takes a name as a parameter and prints a personalized greeting. Prints a personalized greeting. Calling the function with different arguments. Detailed steps, def greet underscore name, name we define the greet underscore name function, which takes one parameter named name. Name is a variable that will hold the value passed when the function is called. Print, f, hello, name. Inside the function, we use the passed name value. F strings, f, dot, are used for convenient string formatting. Greet underscore name, Alice, calling the function. The string Alice is passed as an argument. Inside the function, the name variable will be equal to Alice. Greet underscore name, Bob, calling again with a different argument. Now name will be equal to Bob. Example 3, function with multiple parameters. Description: a function that takes two numbers and returns their sum. Returns the sum of two numbers. Calling the function and storing the result. Detailed steps: def add underscore numbers, number 1, number 2. We define the add underscore numbers function, which takes two parameters, number 1 and number 2. Sum underscore result equals number 1 plus number 2. We perform the addition of the two parameters and store the result in an internal variable sum underscore result. Return sum underscore result. The return keyword indicates that the function should give back the sum underscore result value to where it was called. After return, the function's execution stops. Result equals add underscore numbers, 5, 3. We call the add underscore numbers function with arguments 5 and 3. The value returned by the function, in this case, 8, will be assigned to the result variable. Example 4, function with default parameters. Description: a greeting function where the greeting language can be specified, but defaults to English. Greets a person in the specified language, defaults to English. Calling with default parameter. Calling with explicit parameter. Calling with an unknown language. Detailed steps: def say underscore hello, name, language equals English. We define the say underscore hello function. The name parameter is mandatory. The language parameter has a default value of English. This means if language is not specified when calling the function, English will be used automatically. If language equals English. Inside the function, the logic selects the greeting based on the language value. Say underscore hello, Maria. We call the function, passing only name. Since language is not specified, Python automatically uses the default value English. Say underscore hello, Juan, Spanish. We call the function, explicitly specifying a value for language. This value overrides the default. Example 5, function with variable number of positional arguments, *args. Description: a function that can accept any number of numbers and sum them. Sums any number of provided numbers. Detailed steps, def sum underscore all underscore numbers, asterisk args. The asterisk asterisk before args means that the function can accept any number of positional arguments. These arguments will be collected into a tuple named args inside the function. Total equals 0, initialize a variable to accumulate the sum. For number and args, we can iterate through args like a regular tuple. Total plus equals number, add each number to the running total. Return total, return the final sum. Sum underscore all underscore numbers, that when calling, you can pass 0, 1, or as many numbers as you want, and all of them will be included in args. Example 6, function with variable number of keyword arguments, asterisk asterisk kwargs. Description, a function that accepts user information as key-value pairs and prints it. Prints user information from keyword arguments. Detailed steps, def display underscore user underscore info, asterisk asterisk kwargs. The double asterisks before kwargs mean that the function can accept any number of keyword arguments, key equals value. These arguments will be collected into a dictionary named kwargs inside the function. Print, user information, just a heading for the output. If not kwargs. Checks if any keyword arguments were passed. For key, value in kwargs.items, we can iterate through kwargs like a regular dictionary, getting key-value pairs. Display underscore user underscore info, name equals John, age equals 30, city equals London. When calling, keyword arguments are passed and will be collected into the dictionary kwargs equals, name, John, age, 30, city, London. Example 7, function returning multiple values. Description, a function that calculates the perimeter and area of a rectangle and returns both values. Calculates the perimeter and area of a rectangle. Returns a tuple of perimeter, area. Returns multiple values as a tuple. Calling the function and unpacking the return values. Detailed steps, def calculate underscore rectangle underscore properties, length, width. We define the function that takes length and width. Perimeter equals Area equals. We calculate the perimeter and area. Return perimeter, area. Python automatically packs multiple values listed with a comma into a tuple and returns it. A equals calculate underscore rectangle underscore properties, my underscore length, my underscore width. This is an example of tuple unpacking. Python unpacks the return tuple, assigning the first value to P and the second to A. This is a very convenient way to get multiple values from a function. Example 8, recursive function, example, factorial calculation. Description, a function that calls itself to solve a problem. Example, calculating the factorial of a number, n. Equals n asterisk, n, 1, star. Asterisk 1. Calculates the factorial of number n recursively. Base case, factorial, 0, equals 1. Base case, stops the recursion. Detailed steps, def factorial, n. We define the factorial function. If n equals 0, return 1, this is the base case of recursion. When n becomes 0, the function stops calling itself and simply returns 1. This prevents infinite recursion. Else, return n asterisk factorial, n, 1. This is the recursive step. The function calls itself, but with a decrement n, 1 value. It multiplies the current n by the result of calling factorial for n, 1 until it reaches the base case. Example 9, functions as first-class objects, passing a function as an argument. Description, in Python, functions are first-class objects, meaning they can be passed as arguments to other functions, returned from functions, and assigned to variables. Applies the passed function to x and y. Detailed steps, def multiply, a, b and def divide, a, b. Two simple functions that perform mathematical operations. Def apply underscore operation, func, x, y. This function takes 3 arguments. Func, which will be another function, x, and y, return func, x, y. Inside apply underscore operation, we call the passed function, func, with arguments x and y, apply underscore operation, multiply, 4, 5 here. We pass the multiply function itself, without parentheses, as we are passing the function object, not the result of its call, as the first argument. Apply underscore operation then calls multiply, 4, 5. This is a fundamental concept for understanding event handlers in Flet. Example 10, Functions and Global/Local Variables. Description, illustrates the difference between local variables created inside a function, and global variables, defined outside functions. Global variable. If we want to change a global variable inside a function, we need to use the global keyword. Without global, Python will create a new local variable with the same name. Calling the function. Print, local_var, hashtag this will cause an error, local_var is only visible inside my_function. Detailed steps, global_var equals, dot, we define global_var outside any function. This makes it a global variable, accessible throughout the program. Local_var equals, dot. In my_function we define local_var inside my_function. This makes it a local variable, which exists only within my_function and is not visible outside. Print, f, inside the function, local_var. Inside my_function, local_var is accessible. Print, f, accessing global variable from function, global_var, global variables are readable inside functions without a special keyword. Hashtag print, local_var. Comment showing that this line would cause a name error because local_var does not exist outside my_function. Def modify_global_var, this function demonstrates modifying a global variable. Global_var, the global keyword is necessary if you want to modify the value of an existing global variable inside a function. Without global, Python would create a new local variable with the same name, and the global variable would remain unchanged. Global_var equals, I was modified, we changed the value of the global variable. The print outputs demonstrate how variable values are visible or not visible in different scopes of the program. This should provide you with a comprehensive lesson on def functions in Python, with detailed explanations and examples.